Max May DC with Debbie welcomes you all bros and sissies to discuss on the topic statistics. So I'm Ebenezer Vedasandra. I'm going to guide you throughout this session. So before going into statistics, let's discuss what is actually data. So what do you mean by a data? So the word data is nothing but a piece of information like your name, which city do you belong, and what's your age, what's your height. So these are all the piece of data. And statistics is the science of collecting and organizing, analyzing and interpreting these data in order to make a certain useful decision. So how do you collect this data? So this collection of data is carried out by two methods. So one is primary data and the other one is secondary data. So a primary data is like the own collection where you go in person and collect the data, where secondary data is nothing but you use already collected data, or it could be frankly said as it's someone else's primary data. What are the methods to collect these data? So primary data collection methods include statistical methods, surveys, polls, interviews, Delphi technique and focus groups. So you can use a Google form to conduct a survey, and you have Facebook to conduct a poll, and you can interview person by person for your data collection. So interviewing a person requires you to go in person, so that's going to be a primary data collection method. So as to explain on secondary data methods, it's like financial reports, sales reports, government reports, mission, vision statement and the internet. So if you want to check on, if you want data regarding the number of dengue cases in your locality, so you go to corporation office and get the data. So the data collected is someone else's primary data, but you use in your research study purpose, so that becomes a secondary data. But if you go to a school and conduct a survey regarding dengue fever, that comes under focus group, which is called as a primary data collection. If you want to know about the number of deaths during COVID-19 period, you refer to a mass media like internet or a newspaper, so that's going to be a secondary data. But if you want to know in your locality, you could be sufficient enough to interview each person about the symptoms of corona, so that involves you in person, so that is going to be a primary data collection. So I think I made primary data collection and secondary data collection to be very clear. So what do you do with those data? So you have collected data in your table. So what do you do with those data? So you interpret those data as the number of corona deaths in this country is higher than the other country. The number of dengue cases during rainfall is greater than during the summer season. So likewise, you interpret the data. So how do you interpret this data? Using a tool called as statistics. The main aim of statistics is to interpret the data, or you could even predict future using statistical methods. Do you want to know how? Subscribe to this channel. Right. So in this lesson, we'll be going in deep with respect to measure of central tendency. So measure of central tendency is otherwise called as average. So this average summarizes a large amount of data into a single value and indicate that there is some variability around this single value with the original data. So to calculate average, you have five types of averages, where in this lesson we will be going in deep. But in your syllabus, we have been provided with arithmetic mean, median and mode. But not only these three, you have an extra two called as the geometric mean and harmonic mean. So we'll be looking in detail from the next sessions, and also I have included geometric mean and harmonic mean to be a bonus for the subscribers alone. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel to understand math in detail. So this is Math Made Easy with AB signing off. Take care. Bye bye. See you soon.